Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Passion Podcast 2.0. This is Sandeep Bose, motivation speaker, communication trainer. Once again, welcome you all to that exciting episode number 15. We have a special guest joining all the way from Gurgaon. Her name is Shrishti Chauhan. She's an image consultant, personal effectiveness coach. She's the founder of Level Up with Shrishti. She's a mother of a 9-year-old girl, and also she has completed her fashion designing degree from NIFT Delhi. Let's welcome Shrishti Chauhan and hear from her about her journey. How are you, Shrishti? Welcome to Passion
Very well,
Podcast,
Sandeep.
episode number
Hi.
15. Okay, good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thanks for
And
having me over.
pleasure is all mine because we were thinking about doing this for a long time, and I'm really glad that you're here and we're finally doing it. And I would like to thank once again for giving the time out and from your busy schedule. And it means a lot to me that we are doing it finally. So, Shrishti, I was just introducing my audience about you, like what you do, what is your profession all about. So, but before we talk about your current profession and what you're doing currently, I would like you to talk about how you started, or maybe you can talk about your childhood upbringing, and you can talk about like as a children, what was your thought process, what you wanted to become at that point of time, maybe as a child or as a teenager.
Right. So, Sandeep, I pretty much grew up in Delhi, and I was the younger one between, like, I have an elder brother. So I was always protected growing up years until he left for his higher education, and then I just all of a sudden felt that I was on my own. Um, but as a child, I have a lot of memories, with spent with at my grandparents' house, and a lot of road trips that we would take as a family. And I didn't look forward to academics, let's put it this way. I would do anything to to participate in I was a sports person. I've always played sport. Even now, I make sure that I either whether it's gym or I love working out and all of that. So I did whatever it took to not study. I hated it. And and then, when I was in the 12th grade, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was so confused.
Okay,
Um, and Fashion design, actually textile design, happened
right,
by fluke.
right.
I wanted to, when I couldn't think of anything, I decided I wanted to do hotel management. And when my parents found out that that's what I wanted to do, they said,
Yeah.
can't you think of anything better? And so I sat for an exam for NIFT and got through. And fortunately or unfortunately, I got through NIFT Delhi. so, I told my pet, I don't want to stay with you guys, so I'm not gonna go ahead with NIFT. Rather, I'd pursue my hotel management. And then we came to an agreement that you should go with NIFT and you can take up the hostel. You don't have to live with us. So that's how NIFT happened. And good days. I have fond memories of climbing up trees, and my grandparents could grow fruits and vegetables. Unlike today, we have to buy everything, and good old days. That's a
So,
little bit about my
so
childhood.
what is your perception about the world or about the life, and what you wanted to become as a child? You said that you had an interest in sports, so you thought that you
Yes.
become a sports person, or what was your thought process?
No, it was just another way of not studying.
Hmm. So you
So,
you never
but
thought that you want to
see,
become something like.
no, growing up, I really didn't know. I would change every few years.
Okay.
I would keep changing. Didn't know what I really wanted to grow up to become.
Right. So you mentioned about the NIFT. and also you talked about your love for the fashion and textile. So your degree was on apparels and textiles, right? So are you always interested
Specialization.
in specialization? So are you always interested in fashion, designing clothes, grooming?
Yes, fashion very much. So my dad was a sailor and he traveled a lot. Every time he came back, he would bring whatever was trending in that particular country. So uh, thankfully, that's the exposure had growing up. And then um, designing, not so much. I would say fashion was of interest, and grooming also. I would get fascinated or attracted towards people who were charismatic. Back then, I didn't know what charisma was about or what it really meant. Now, when I look at it, I know why. So there's clearly this is something that has caught my attention always. So grooming, dressing right, um, and style is something that I've always been interested in. So another thing, I have this flair of making things look beautiful. So even if it's every 2 years, I was moving countries, and from a house to make it a home, um, is totally up to you. And I just somehow, we all do that, no? We create our touch, we add our touch to things that we own and things like that. So
Absolutely.
this is something aesthetics and beauty and is something that has been always of interest to me.
Right. And you have also worked in different jobs, right? From hospitality sector to customer relations. Right now, also you're working with a company as a marketing manager. So, how's your experience? Because you did the course on fashion, right? And after that, you have worked in different types of jobs, which is not related to fashion. Maybe directly, maybe indirectly, it's related. So, how's your experience? What did you learn? What are the things from there you catch and that might helping you right now?
So, as luck would have it, I graduated in 2009 from NIFT, and that's the same year I ended up getting married, and I moved to Africa, Tanzania.
Okay.
Um, didn't find any job related to fashion, so I started off with interior I was working. It was a job that I took up, and from there I moved on to the hotel industry. So I'm extroverted and I love being around people. It brings out the best in me. So I can't say that any of this was my calling. I was doing it to keep myself busy. Um, and there's a
Right.
lot that I learned. So at that point of time, I didn't enjoy any of this. Truth be told, if you asked me this question back then, I would have said, "Oh, I don't enjoy it." But now, when I look at it, I understand that there's so much that I learned from this, and clearly today, who I am it has a role to play in who I am today. Let me put it this way.
Absolutely. So, how's your experience in the hotel industry? Because it's a totally different industry, and you have many guests, clients are there,
Right.
and
So I was basically taking care of, I was a GRE, which is guest relation executive. It's a punching back kind of a job where the guests, the in-house guests would come up to you with all their grievances. So from morning to evening, this is what you're dealing with. You're representing the hotel, and I am telling you, there were days when I would think to myself, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I doing this? But there's a lot of this job grounded me a lot, made me a lot more humble person. And yes, my patience were tested, but I got better with time. So a lot of learnings, I would say, Sandeep.
If you can share any one learning which is uh, very important to you, or maybe changed your life, or the way you see life, change your perception.
Yes. So I'll tell you. I grew up in Delhi, like I said, and I wasn't something that I'm not very proud of is growing up, I wasn't a very humble person. And when I started working with a hotel, um, it's a teamwork at the end of the day. So I realized that it's not an easy job to be at the front office or to be a server at a table. And I saw it close handedly. And I guess my attitude, my mindset changed drastically. And yeah, it made me like I said, it made me a lot more humble person. And you respect everyone for what they do, period. Whatever job it is, it's a job at the end of the day.
Right. So since you have worked in different jobs, and right now you are also in a job, but at the same time you have found out your calling, or I can say your passion, and you have founded this company which is known as Level Up with Shrishti. And so tell us more about this passion and calling, and the reason or the thought process behind finding this company that you are running.
Right. So this all started in 2019 when I moved back to India, and I was basically going through. I still am going through a divorce, and that took a toll on me, and I something in me um, prompted me to find out my calling in life.
Right.
And at the right time, I came across this book called Ikigai,
Okay.
which I mean, a lot of people now know about it, and it has helped. I know of people personally who have good things to say about it. So it's a Japanese concept
Right.
that talks about your calling, your calling, and it's to do with so what I figured, and what made sense was, so basically this whole concept is uh, your purpose, your life purpose is at the intersection of what you love doing, what your talents are, and if it is something that you can be paid for, and if that's something that world needs today. Having a fashion, my education is in fashion and textiles.
Right.
um, that's my background, right? um, Talents, I would say, I'm able to put things together, right? You give me outfits and I'll just create my own version of it. We all do that. But let's say that it's the confidence that I have, it's the confidence with which I do it. So that's a talent. I felt that so this whole image consulting is what I do, right? Um, it is all about enhancing and upgrading your self presentation skills.
Okay.
And what happens is in life, for various different reasons, for me, let's say it could be a troubled marriage. For someone else, it could be a bad boss at work or some other life incident because of which they lose out on themselves. And
Okay.
as a result of that, their self esteem is in tatters. More often than not, the root cause of a lot of problems is self esteem, is a tattered self esteem. So it begins from there, right? How
Right.
you feel about yourself and what you think you're worth and all of that. if you don't think that, you a lot of people will not make an effort with how they look, and that's okay. Maybe it really doesn't matter to them, but at the end of the day, we live in a world where we are judged. We are
Yeah.
judged all the time. People take only few seconds to form first impression, right? We all know
Right.
this. So why not make the best of those few seconds? And we can always figure out ways to do that. So coming back to how I started this, I was at a point in life where I wanted to find my calling, and I figured that this is something. Image consulting is something I feel that I have a flair for. I wanted a structure now to be able to help other people. I could change my life around with it, because the 10 years of my married life took a toll on me. I lost out on myself. I was underconfident. So if I could change that in my life, it gave me that confidence that I could do it to others. So this is how Level Up with Shrishti. And um, I'm often asked, why is it that you only work with women? It's just that I associate better with them. It's not that I don't work with men. I do, but I know what struggles a married woman would have, or a single mother would have. So it's just that uh, I'm able to put myself in their shoe, and
In their shoes.
understand. Yes, absolutely. So this is how Level Up with Srishti happened.
Right. And all this thing happened in the recently, right? In the 2 years, if I'm not wrong, when the COVID started. So you have
Yes, so
utilized your time properly.
I would say so. Yeah. I took
Right.
almost a year to finish my course, and then I started my pro bonos, and and then nuggets happened. So all good things started happening. Once the intentions are right, and you actually take that first step of doing it, of putting that action, things
Yeah.
start falling into place.
Right. You mentioned about your daughter. She's a 9-year-old, and if we see your Instagram handle, so there are many videos or there are many pictures with her, and also I must tell you, and I must give you this compliment that your profile, Instagram profile, is one of the finest Instagram profiles I've ever seen on Instagram. So it's very well maintained by you. And I want to mention Suhani's name because she takes care of this part. So a great job done by her and by yourself as well. So it has many good contents. It has many great creative videos which anybody can look up to, and they can learn so many things without talking with you. Also, even they go through your profile, they ended up learning so many things about fashion, colors, grooming as well. So so tell us more about this Instagram or maybe the social handles. What type of content you want to create in future? Also, what is your plans for this?
Right. So Sandeep, in fact, I've been told many times that why do I put out so much for people to just absorb. The thing is, if anything can change one person's life, I mean, that's the whole idea. Um, it's on one day, let's say you open my Instagram, and it's something that you're struggling with, and it's with that hope that I put out. I actually spend a lot of time on my content, and friends and family know how I'm always looking for content wherever I
Moments.
go. Yeah, I'm like,
Capture the moments.
capture this, capture that, and I harass the hell out of everyone. But that's me. I'm always looking for things to kind of, capture and then use it for my content. I really try. I spend time, and it's very from my heart. So thanks a lot. I'm really glad to hear that you have good things to say. I do get a lot of DMs from people I don't personally know of, and they'll, on a random morning, I get a message saying, "I really like what you do, and thanks, you changed my life." And I don't know how it happens, but it happens. So this is what keeps me going, and it gives me immense happiness, and this is fulfillment for me.
Yeah, it indirectly changes many people's lives, and I really look up to your content because I learn so many things from that. So I think that how can I make content like this, you know? And we
Wow.
spoke about, yeah, yeah, I truly mean it. And we spoke about your daughter. She's 9 year old, and we see many videos on the platform as well. So tell us more about this bonding between you and her. And I believe this. See, motherhood is not an easy task. So you at the same time you're managing her. At the same time you're working on your skills. I mean, on your goals as well. How do you balance between these two? Because motherhood is a full time job, right? So how do you balance this between two things or many things, I should say.
Okay, so to begin with, little about my daughter. She's 9 and she's my biggest cheerleader, and she is my strength. She's the one who pushes me for a lot of things. She's only 9 to say so, but she's an old soul. So there's a lot of motivation that I get from her. And
Okay.
being a single mother, the story that I would tell myself for a very long time was, if I walk out of my marriage, my daughter, what is she gonna, just like any other single mother, the kind of questions and the kind of things that one goes through. I went through all of that. And um, but you know what? You sometimes have to have the courage to change the story that you tell yourself.
Right.
So I changed this story to, I have a daughter who looks up to me, and I know she looks up to me. So I can't let her down. I can't let myself down. So why
Right.
not make something out of it?
Right.
And um, we are a great team. We do things together, and again, close friends and family know that I can be a Hitler mom when it comes to that, because discipline,
Right.
habits, routine is something that I'm very particular about. And it's just
Right.
not for her, it's for me, it's for my clients. If I
Mhm.
don't do it, how do I tell others to do it? And you
Absolutely.
do realize over a period of time, when you want to change things in your life for the good, it is these little things on daily basis that you need to first change,
Right. Right.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's not about preaching, but practicing what you preach. So I have a daughter who looks up to me, and I know that she's unconsciously, subconsciously, she picks up on things from her mom. So if I'm not being
Yeah.
the right, not
Guide.
setting the right example,
Mhm. Mhm.
then how do I expect her? So I guess that's why, that's about my daughter. Coming to how I manage, see, Sandeep, there's a lot of inner work that we all need to do. And when you go through, it could be something really happy in your life, it could be something that pulls you down completely, but some big event in your life, which gets you to start thinking and spending more time on yourself and understanding what is it that you really want out of this life. And um, you understand your value systems. That's when you understand all of this, right? Once you're
Right.
clear on all of this, what is it that you're okay with, what is it that you need to change, what are your value systems, that's when you're able to prioritize what's important to you. To me, look, I mean, all mothers, all parents try their best with their kids. Our parents have done it, we are doing it. But there are days when you feel that you want to break. And motherhood is something that you cannot take breaks from.
Right.
So, balance. You understand that having healthy boundaries is important. You have that understanding with your kid that, look, today mommy needs time for herself. Today, mommy wants to let her hair down. So, that honesty, transparency, and communication, because all of us love our kids, right? There's no two ways about that. It's just about being able to put that message across to your child that, look, I've got your back, I do my best, but you know what? I can only continue to do this if I am a happy soul. How can I raise you to be a happy person if I'm not a happy person? So I can't be
Right.
pouring out of an empty jug. I need
Got it.
to refueling, and I need to keep doing all of that. So that's where balance comes in, and this is how you learn to manage time. Come on, I mean, you don't have a choice.
Right. Right. Very well said. Here, I want to talk about your organization, which is Level Up with Shrishti. And so now, at this point of your time, you are in a leadership role. So, what is leadership to you, and how you want to define leadership through this platform of yours?
So, leadership to me is not a mere position, Sandeep, right? But the person for whom we have a lot of reverence. And that reverence for me comes from a good mix of character and
Right.
charisma, substance with style, integrity and image. And a great example of a good this good mix is Barack Obama.
Absolutely. Have you
So
gone through his autobiography?
nope, actually I started Becoming is Michelle's book. Is that what it's called? I think I started reading it, but it's a fact book, and I have a problem with the thickness of the book. So I thought I'm gonna probably just get an audio one, and because again, that's a power couple. I look up to them, and there's so much that I would want to learn from both of them. So yeah, that's leadership for me.
Right. Uh, what message you want to send across through this platform to many people who are watching this podcast at this point of time, who are afraid to pursue their passion, especially women who are not in a position to pursue their passion, watching from rural areas, or maybe they're in terms of freedom, liberty, they are not in a position to pursue their passion. What message you want to send across to them? All over the globe. I'm talking about all over the globe.
Right. So I would say let's change that. If you feel that you're in a situation and you're stuck in that situation, I would say do something about it. It needs a lot of courage, but remember, nothing worthwhile comes easy. And I'm not just saying that. I am saying that because I do it every day. Every morning, there are some challenges we all go through, but to be able to get out of the bed thinking that I'm still gonna make it and I'm not gonna take it as a no is something that I learned to do every single day. I just believe in throwing myself in situations because you know what, Sandeep, you will never be ready for something. If you think I'm ready
True.
for this today, that doesn't happen. You keep pushing it, you keep procrastinating, it's not going to lead you anywhere. So the thing is, if you feel that you're in a situation and you're stuck, then do something about it today. And another thing I would say is, a lot of times we say, I've said it myself, it will happen if it's meant to be. Let's change it to, it will happen and it's up to me. So taking 100% responsibility
Mm.
is something that I would ask people to, do. Because if you want the outcomes to change in your life, you have to change the way you respond to the events in your life, right? Or else you'll keep
Right.
getting the same outcomes. Events will keep happening in your life. If you keep
Mm.
responding to them in the same way, you can't expect the outcomes to change.
True.
So that's what I would want to say. And if I
So
could
you
do it, if I could change my life around, anyone can. And this is what, these are the words that helped me, because when I was in a situation where I didn't know what to do next, and I would hear people, um, like people, you interact with people and they talk to you about their stories, and you're like, and they would tell me, if I could do it, you could too. That tells you that yes, you can. It's that, it's comforting to know.
right. So you want others to do take that extra effort which they were afraid to take or they don't want to take.
Yes, take that first step. First figure out what is it. Either don't complain about it. There are two things, right? Either you can sit and complain, you can complain everyone, you can complain about pandemic that happened and the economy that suffered and all of that. But even in the pandemic and even in the that economy, there are people who had successful careers and
Yeah.
businesses, right? There's
Right.
something right that they did. So why not change that and do something about it? Look, one thing I want to say, okay, at this point of time, you can either get bitter or you can get better. You either let the cards that have been dealt to you become a better person, or you can let it tear you down. Now, this doesn't belong to the fate, it belongs to you. As
Right.
simple as that.
Okay. Okay. So we are almost at the end of the podcast, but there are a few questions I would like to ask you before you leave, which is you mentioned right about your passion. So how important the passion for you? Because I feel that now you're doing something which you're passionate about, and maybe I can say it's your calling. What passion was the definition of passion? Like, can you do this if somebody's not paying you the money as well? So is it that is what passion is, or what is your definition about passion?
Okay. So because I'm a single mother, I wouldn't jump in a situation that doesn't take care of my bills. I have a child to fend for, right? So
Right.
I would have something that will take care of that. And on the side, I can have a gig which I'm passionate about. So, for example, Level Up with Srishti is pure passion, right? So, that's one of the things that I do. But something
Yeah.
that takes care of the bills is Nuggets,
Right.
right? I have a child, I need to ensure that her school fees are paid and all of that. So, you just have to be smart about this and um, decide for yourself how is it that you can make it work. Because look, everything takes time. When it's your own startup, you're starting out, you don't know when do you get to that point where you don't need to do something that you must do. So it's a passion and it's my calling, so there's no way I'm gonna give up on this. This will keep happening. And that's what I'm saying, it's so fulfilling to read the messages or see how people change and how their eyes light up with the change that they've gone through, the transformation. It's amazing. So there's I love this. I love Level Up with Shrishti. I love what I do. But and I thankfully Nuggets is on the same page. It's well aligned with my value system. I am a big believer of um, women being financially independent. I took a lot of time to understand this. For 10 years, I wasn't. And it's only now that I understand that how important it is. And so luckily it's on the same same page, so same value system. And yeah.
Yeah, but I want more wanted to know about this thing, that passion definition of passion means, like, can you give some examples, like you did this for your passion, or you did this sacrifice, to be where you are right now. So if you can share any story or example, something, you are very, passionate, and you did something for your passion.
Right. So I would say the whole of the first year when I started out, Sandeep, there's a lot of, when you start, it's a practice like a lawyer. Let's say you've just finished studying law. So you practice under a, an established lawyer for the name, right? So in for us as image consultants, once you need to do a lot of things. And I'm telling you, it's not fun to be working thinking that one day I will make money. Yeah, you keep doing pro bonos, you keep doing pro bonos thinking that you, because you wanna get better at it. How else will you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
better at it? Nobody's gonna pay you money when you're a fresher. Why would somebody come to you, right? So there's a
absolutely.
lot of effort that goes out, and it's not motivating at all at that point of time, because you don't have that confidence. You're starting out. Two, you're not paid anything, right? So but you keep doing it, you keep doing it. So I would say this is passion. I mean, people give up. People think that, oh, I'm not making money, I'm not going to do it, why should I do it for free? But the fact is that even now there are times when I feel that somebody genuinely needs my service but is not able to pay it right away. I would consider doing it as a pro bono, because this is my calling. So
Good.
this is clearly passion. I don't need to. I don't have to. And I have enough reasons to not do it,
Right.
right? But clearly, this is passion for me and I love it.
Right. And as you know, this podcast is about passion. So all the people who come, they are all passionate, just like you, about their work and about their life and what they do. So apart from passion, this podcast talks about inspiration and motivation. So can you share any examples from your life where you feel like giving up, or maybe you feel like not able to complete the task, and most difficult phase or most difficult situation which you fought? Can you share any story or any example of
Lots
such?
of them. I'll try and okay, let's say when I was 23, I got married and I moved to Africa. 23 is a fairly young age to get married, and it was an arranged setup. For me, it was my world changing one fine day when I land up in a new country. It's an arranged setup. I don't know of the family so well. I don't know of the guy so well. The culture is very different. My parents are away, and I'm the younger one, so I was the pampered one. And suddenly everything changed, right? So that was a moment when I wanted to just run back and tell my mom that what did I just do? Can we change something here? But that's life.
Yeah.
You can't run away. And I am not someone who would run away from a situation. So instead, you just figure out ways to make things work. And one thing leads to the other. So that happening, then having a kid. But when you're not happy in a marriage, culturally, it's like it's something. If things are not going well between a husband and wife, what does everyone suggest? Go have a kid, as if that's going to make anything better. That in fact ruins it more. So now here you're not getting on with your husband, then you have a kid. There's no support with your husband doesn't support you with the kid. Now you have more things to be unhappy about. Now what do? Where do you go? And in the middle of all of this, you feel that, is this what I wanted in my life? Is this my life calling to raise a child? Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? And I couldn't understand what I wanted to do. So I started with eliminating what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be a full time mother. I didn't want to take up designing. So that's how I reached to this conclusion. But 10 years, Sandeep, were um, life changing years for
Changing
me.
experience.
Yes, I learned a lot. If it wasn't for these 10 years, I would be a very different person. But I'm really happy that this happened. And today I understand or see life very differently. And I am starting from scratch. At the age of 34, I started all over again, but this time with experiences.
Right. Uh,
So
yeah. Okay.
that's today.
So
Yeah. So this is. I don't know if this motivates anyone, or if it can make people to think that she didn't give up. I shouldn't give up. Why should we give up? Let's do the best that we can. That's all.
absolutely, absolutely, you have motivated many people. I'm sure about it. And through this platform, also this video will reach to many women, especially women. Why we're talking about women? Because you are also working with women, and we are celebrating women, through this podcast as well. So, if I ask you your role model in your life, I'm sure that you will say your father's name, because for every girl, their father is their idol, their hero. You mentioned Barack Obama. He's an amazing leader, one of the best of all time, and you mentioned the qualities as well. Apart from them, do you have any idol or any inspiration or any reference point whom you look up to, or even if you look up to them, if you can share any story, maybe from your father's life or anything, can you share? Whom
Yes,
Shrishti
my
Chauhan gets
father
his
is.
inspiration from?
I get a lot of inspiration from both my parents. Mom and dad both. They have their own strengths. Like I said, my dad has come a long way. He grew up in a village, and he gave us the upbringing that he did, and I'm really thankful for that. He did his best, and we traveled as kids, and we went to good schools, and education was of great importance. So that's that about my dad. From my mom, it was an easy raising two kids in a way single-handedly, because dad was almost back when they got married. My mom would see my dad once a year, and they would exchange letters, and letters would take months to get to her. So she would live with my grandparents, and my dad would send her. When I was born, my dad wasn't around. Now imagine how difficult it is for a wife, but they have gone through all of this to give us the life that we grew up with. So a lot of respect and lot of learnings from them. Other than that, Oprah Winfrey is someone I really look up to. Um, so yeah, she's one of the people I really look up to. And like I said, Michelle Obama. There's something about her that um, you know intrigues me.
Absolutely. So, with this note, Shrishti, I'd like to thank you once again for joining this podcast. This is the 15th episode we are doing, and we are really glad that you have joined today to share your experience, knowledge, and expertise. And whatever you are doing, I wish you all the best with your future endeavors, and I wish you all the success. And hope to connect soon in the future as well for maybe a group panel discussion or anyhow. And any message you want to say to the my audience who are watching this podcast at this point of time?
Um, Keep rocking and figure out ways to thrive in life, I would say. It's so much more fun to thrive and not just survive. That's all I'll say, Sandeep. And I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity. You're doing a fab job yourself. That's passion right there. You're doing it out of passion as well. So high five on that. Two of a kind.
Yeah, high five.
Um, Thanks a lot. See you then.
And I would like to tell my viewers that if they want to change their image, they should contact with you through your Insta or LinkedIn. So you have some amazing contents on Insta. So the ID is Level Up with Srishti. You can just write that on Insta, and also you can connect with her on LinkedIn if they want to change anything about their image. And any other service you provide apart from image consulting?
Personal effectiveness. I mean, how to bring out the best in you. So that's to
Yeah,
do
so
with
that
that's
part we
image
missed.
overall.
That part we missed. Personal effectiveness coach. What is that, and how does it work?
So look, we all have certain skill sets, strengths, weaknesses, right? With what you already have, how do you level up? How do you go to the next level? So bringing out the best in you.
Okay, okay,
Personal effectiveness coach.
right.
Like
Great,
an
Srishti.
extension of an image consultant. Yes, Sandeep. Thank you. Thanks for your kind words and
Thank you so much
appreciation.
once again, and lots of gratitude for that. And take care. God bless you, and see you soon. Okay.
Yep. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.